Well, let's bring in EVP of the Trump Organization, Donald Trump Jr. Don, your father's going to take the stage. Thousands of people outside. We knew this was going to be big. Did we know it was going to be this big?
I don't think anyone could have even imagined it was this big. I mean, certainly, as someone who's done this now 3 times around, you wouldn't have even thought about this in 16 or 20. I mean, the streets of Manhattan, from Trump Tower to Madison Square Garden, were just packed. Outside was a zoo. Inside, I can't even, it's just incredible. Everyone gets it. The movement is so real. People are sick of what's going on. They've watched our country fail for 4 years, Carl, and they've had enough.
We're here in New York City. I'm a native New Yorker, as are you. To be outside, see MAGA, see all the love for your dad, what goes through your mind? I'm seeing you. You're tearing up.
I'm not tearing up.
Yes, he is.
I'm
yes,
not.
he
It's
is.
the makeup.
He
No,
is.
I'm not. You know what? As a political refugee, formerly of the People's Republic of New York to the state of Florida, it's actually great to be able to come home and see that level of love. I mean, it was amazing. And again, it's different now. It's not just the guy in the red MAGA hat. It's every demographic, every walk of life, every race, gender, religion. I mean, they're coming up. They understand their country is failing them, and their government has failed them. They're watching Ukraine get money, but we can't take care of Americans that are struggling. Everyone feels it. The incompetence by the Harris-Biden administration is so palpable that everyone's revolting against it. They just want someone who's going to fix things, and they know my father can do that.
What goes through your mind when you got Hillary Clinton, people like that, trying to call your dad a fascist and Hitler? How disgraceful is that? What is that?
It's so ridiculous. I mean, you know, especially coming from them. They're the ones that are lying. They're the ones pushing misinformation. They're the ones trying to jail their political opponents. I mean, frankly, the Democrat Party today is running the fascist playbook. So it's typical Democrat projection where they accuse others of doing the things that they're actually doing themselves. But it's also disgusting when you really think about what it means. They've been encouraging the violence against my father, against our family. I've had the threats from Iran and myself, not just my father, multiple assassination attempts. You know, I don't know what to make of it other than they're sick people, or perhaps they view that as their only chance of actually winning. I don't know. It's bad.
Well, we just saw Rudy Giuliani, who is essentially the poster child for literally a fascist movement. I mean, they have buried this guy in legal fees. They've made the process become the punishment. And you know, your father is the one man who can actually stand in between that.
Well, 100%. I mean, they did it to my family, too, right? If they couldn't impeach him twice, they tried to bankrupt him. If they couldn't bankrupt him, they tried to take away his businesses. If they couldn't do that, they tried to jail him for 750 years. You know, my father's a young and vibrant man, but 750 years seems like a long time for creating jobs, for keeping us out of wars, for signing peace deals in the Middle East. You know, not exactly someone that probably should go to jail for these things, but that's their playbook. There's nothing they won't do. The American people understand that the Democrats only care about power, and there's nothing they will not do to maintain that level of power.
You ever say to your dad, Dad, I love you too much. I love you too much. Do you keep putting yourself in danger out there? You're putting your life in danger, your entire family, and you're doing it for this country to try to bring it back from the brink of no return. But do you ever just say, you know what, I can't, I just want to golf, I can't do this anymore? Does that thought ever run through your mind?
Never, ever had that thought. Honestly, you know, initially when we started this out, it was, you know, I just believed in it. Now I see what's going on. My resolve is just so much stronger. We have no choice. I got 5 young kids. I need to leave them a country they recognize. If I didn't go all in, if my family didn't go all in 100% of the way to do that, what's the purpose of everything we believe in? Now, we're all in, and we're never going to quit fighting.
Well, that's the thing, too, is those who have the ability have the responsibility. You know, Uncle Ben from, obviously, Spider-Man. But this is such a big movement that, you know, to be honest, I mean, like you said, you have 5 kids. There are generations of Trumps in the waiting for this, okay? And I think the biggest thing here is this movement doesn't end in 4 years, does it?
No, I mean, that's a big part of sort of what I focused on, and, you know, bringing in a guy like a J.D. Vance who's not just going to succumb back to the usual establishment nonsense, you know, that we see from so many of the sort of weak Washington swamp Republicans. Like, we don't need that. That's failed our country almost as badly as Democrat policies have. We can't have that. So we need a bench. We need a generation of people who are willing to put America first, who have the ability to actually fight forward, who have the resolve and the will to actually fight for these things, who won't just get steamrolled by Washington, D.C. So that's been a big part of why we're also doing this. It can't just be about Donald Trump for 4 years. There has to be a continuation of these policies that just make sense for America.
I'm a first-generation American. I didn't speak English until I was 5, 6 years old. Clearly, I don't have a problem with that now. President Trump, he loves immigrants.
Yeah.
That's what upsets me. Whenever I hear this kind of talk, he actually loves immigrants. He wants to make the...
2 out of 3 of his wives are immigrants.
I was going to say, my mom was an immigrant,
I know.
Barron's mom's an immigrant.
So talk to me about what he's going to do to secure our border, to get this country back under control. We can't have this invasion continue.
He's going to finish what he started, but this time it's going to be with a mandate. The American people see it. They understand what's going on. When you think about an administration that literally let in 600,000 criminals by their own data, they're releasing it. So it's probably worse. 13,000 murderers. They know it's a murderer, and they still let him into the country. 16,000 sex offenders and rapists. Imagine knowing that and allowing it to happen. That's the Democrat policy. They don't want to take care of Americans or cater to them.
Why do you think they're doing it?
Because they need to replace the people who they've ostracized as reliable voters. They need dependents. They need people who are going to be dependent on your taxpayer dollars, and they'll reliably vote Democrat. Rather than cater to the communities in America that they would have traditionally catered to, they said, you know what? That's a bridge too far. We got to push our woke nonsense. We're going to forget about those people, so we'll bring in 20 million people and replace them. It's not going to work. The American people see it. They're not falling for it anymore.
That's it.
They're not falling for it. One last question.
Ladies and gentlemen,
What went through your mind, Kamala Harris, when they said Jesus is Lord and she said you're at the wrong rally? We got Ave Maria and Alleluia here.
I mean, honestly, I wake up so many days, I think I'm just the star of the Truman Show, like I'm being punked. Like, it has to be a joke. But again, that's the Democrat Party. They don't believe in God. They don't have a God. Their God always evolves. It's Greta Thunberg as the high priestess of climate change. It evolves to Anthony Fauci as the Lord of COVID. Now it's Zelensky. They don't believe in God, so they create their own deities to be able to fill that void somehow. It's disgusting. It's sick, and it shouldn't be happening in America. And then, of course, a week later, she tries pandering back because she realized it's not a winning message. But that's the whole problem with her whole campaign. Every time they try something, it fails. She does worse, so they have to change tactics. They change tactics on a weekly basis. That's not because they're winning, but the American people, they have to get out. They have to vote like they're the third monkey in line for the Ark, and it's starting to rain, and then bring your friends and get out there and do that. Apathy is the only thing that can kill us right now. And sit back and do nothing, that's what's going to get us. If we all get out there and bring our friends, we're going to win.
And they're watching right now because they need new policies for next week.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. They'll just take whatever Trump says tonight, they'll make it their policy, but they won't actually enact it when they get power.
We're
We
not
all know
afraid to
that.
say God bless America right here.
No, not at all.
Jesus is Lord.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.